Hey guys, today on People Now, the latest details about rapper A$AP Rocky's new charges in Sweden.
Plus,
you're assuming we got in trouble.
I'm presuming there was a moment.
Octavia Spencer and Naomi Watts opening up about what got them in the most trouble in high school and all about their intense new movie, Loose.
J-Lo gets the party started at a star-studded birthday bash in Miami.
Poppy Montgomery is here getting us pumped for her new series, Reef Break.
Actress Julie Benz stars in a new movie and Lifetime's book-to-screen series. She's given us a sneak peek at all that drama.
It's all live today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. We are celebrating an exciting and quintessential summer holiday today. It is National Hot Fudge Sunday Day, everybody.
Let's get excited. Yeah?
Come on, guys.
Okay.
Yes. What better way to beat the heat than with some cold ice cream?
There are so many ways to jazz up your Sunday, so we want to know, what's your favorite topping? Is it sprinkles? Is it nuts, Oreos, fruit, maybe something else? Vote in our People poll or tweet us your answer with the hashtag People Now. And also, where are our Sundays?
Where are they?
That's always the question on these days.
I go for the crushed nuts on Sunday.
I do that too, and I like fruit as well.
Yeah, a little strawberry.
Not a sprinkles fan.
No.
But there are those lovers out there, so let us know.
We'll talk about it later. We're going to check in on the results in just a bit, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Starting on a very different note, A$AP Rocky has been charged with assault in Sweden. On Thursday, Stockholm public prosecutor Daniel Sunesson announced that the rapper will be tried for assault causing actual bodily harm following his July 2nd arrest alongside two other men. Sunesson says that he has, quote, commenced criminal proceedings against the three individuals suspected of assault and that he has come to the conclusion that the events in question constitute a crime despite claims of self-defense and provocation. Sunesson continued saying this: in reaching this conclusion, I have studied the videos made available to the inquiry. It is worth noting that I have had access to a greater amount of material than that which has previously been available on the internet. In addition to video material, the injured party's statements have been supported by witness statements. People spoke to Sunesson from his office in Stockholm, and he confirmed that if convicted, the rapper could face up to 2 years in jail due to these charges. But he also predicts the punishment is unlikely to be, quote, on that level. So far, no trial date has been set, but it is likely to be announced next week by the District Court of Stockholm. The trial will rely heavily on eyewitness accounts alongside video footage. The public prosecutor says that the court has yet to decide if the proceedings will be open to the public. As of now, the rapper will remain in custody at the Stockholm Detention Center, where a source previously described the conditions as horrific and inhumane, adding that they included 24/7 solitary confinement and restriction of amenities for the most basic of human functions. Thanks to a conversation with Kanye West last week, President Donald Trump caught wind of the news and said that he would call the Prime Minister of Sweden to help the rapper because he felt, quote, compelled to do something. However, during an interview with TMZ, the Swedish ambassador to the United States refuted the claims of poor treatment, calling them, quote, not correct. All right, moving on to this. Andy Cohen not here for Kathy Griffin's digs. Earlier this week, the Watch What Happens Live host responded to remarks Kathy made about him when she chatted with us earlier this month. Here's a quick refresher on her biting comments.
Andy Cohen treated me like a dog. I mean, he was like one of the worst bosses I've ever had. And also, you know, the guy, like, he decides the entire slate at Bravo, and yet he gave himself a talk show that magically gets renewed every year. So, you know, like, I had a talk show at Bravo for 2 years, and then I got canceled. And I thought, yeah, it's like, in a way, I'm sure it's sort of competition for Andy. So, no, he has not been very kind.
So kind of putting it all out there. On Tuesday, Andy Cohen responded to Kathy's comments via USA Today, claiming the comedian has made up a lot of stuff about him over the years that have been, quote, untrue and sad. He adds that he hopes Kathy finds some peace. There's been a rift between the former friends since 2017 when Andy was tapped to replace Kathy as co-host of CNN's New Year's Eve Live alongside Anderson Cooper. Kathy was fired earlier that year amid the backlash she received after posing with a mask of President Donald Trump's bloodied head, which she talks about at length in her upcoming documentary, Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story. Anderson Cooper was quick to respond to the controversial photo on Twitter at the time, calling it, quote, clearly disgusting and completely inappropriate. We asked Kathy if there was any chance about reconciling with Anderson. She admitted that she's not hopeful, but that's okay.
I don't think he has really any interest in it, you know? And I'm, like I said, after going through something like this, I'm like done chasing people. I'm down to 3 friends on a good day. And so I just kind of want to go where I can make people laugh.
And guys, to hear more of Kathy's take on a tumultuous couple of years, make sure to check out her documentary, Kathy Griffin, A Hell of a Story, in select theaters July 31st. On Wednesday, HBO officially rejected a petition to remake the final season of Game of Thrones, dashing the hopes of over 1.6 million people who had actually signed it. During a press tour Wednesday night, the president of HBO programming, Casey Bloys, said that the petition was not something they could have foreseen and did admit that it showed a lot of enthusiasm and passion for the series. But Bloys went on to add that remaking the ending to the epic show, quote, wasn't something we seriously considered. Bloys said that the reaction to the finale comes with the territory, and he thought of it as one of the, quote, very few downsides to having a hugely popular show, explaining that many people have opinions on how the show should have ended. Despite the fan backlash, the series earned a record 32 Emmy nominations, the most ever for a single season of television. And Bloys said that he enjoyed the recognition, calling the nominations, quote, certainly nice validation. Now, meanwhile, the highly anticipated Game of Thrones spin-off prequel is moving full speed ahead. Bloys confirming that the controversy surrounding the end of Game of Thrones has not affected production. He also confirmed that shooting has wrapped and the show's currently in edit. The prequel is set to take place roughly 5,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. We're going to keep our eyes peeled for that. Also, Naomi Watts involved in that project. We have a little blip from her about it a little later in the show. Now listen to this.
Take my horse to the Soul Town Road.
Hear that nice play on words? The Soul Town Road. That's Lil Nas X's new remix of Old Town Road with BTS superstar RM. The rapper dropped the new version Wednesday night in the U.S., and that newly added lyric pays homage to BTS's hometown of Seoul, South Korea. The new track is slightly shorter than the original with Billy Ray Cyrus, but RM delivers one of the main verses in the remix. Gotta say, he's got a pretty good southern twang when it comes down to it. Lil Nas X's collab with RM comes shortly after the rapper released an animated music video of Old Town Road on July 16th, depicting him and others raiding Area 51. That video is inspired by all the hype around this September 20th Facebook event in which more than 1 million people and counting have RSVP'd to storm the top-secret military base, hoping to find signs of extraterrestrial life. A reminder, that's all supposed to be kind of a joke. Don't really storm it.
No, don't actually do that.
Bad news if you do.
It's just the song that keeps on going, huh? But I love it, actually.
Really capitalizing on it. It's like
they're very smart to pick up a BTS member.
Well, and you look at it, it's okay, hip-hop, country, now K-pop. What other genres? You could do like maybe a reggaeton or something?
Yeah, some opera.
Oh, okay.
I heard maybe Dolly Parton. I liked that rumor, so maybe she could be next. Go back to country.
Is this going to set a new precedent for a huge hit song?
It's really smart
to
marketing
like
to bring in people,
reinvent.
their fans in.
Just dominates the charts for like months on end. Anyway, all right, more Force and Star Treks.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Treks today with one epic VDay celebration. Watch this. Woo! It's a Jennifer Lopez party. The singer celebrated her 50th birthday in Miami on Wednesday with friends and family, and in true J-Lo fashion, it was an epic blowout. The party took place at Gloria and Emilio Estefan's estate. J-Lo looked stunning in a sexy metallic dress with a high ponytail with large hoop earrings, and of course, her fiancé Alex Rodriguez was there and dressed to the nines in a classic black suit and tie. He even gifted her a red Porsche for the occasion. Hello, casual Porsche gifting there. The event was lavishly decorated for the occasion with giant gold balls hanging around the outside of the party and tents to secure some privacy. And as you might expect, music was a big focus for this party. DJ Don Hot and DJ Cassidy took control of the soundtrack of the night, and the partying went on all the way to the early hours of the morning. DJ Khaled, Fat Joe, and Ashanti were among some of the celebs helping J-Lo celebrate, and DJ Khaled shared some fun snippets from the party throughout the night on his Instagram. The dance floor was completely packed, and J-Lo herself danced all night long with her love, A-Rod, by her side. That is so sweet. And guess who else was there? J-Lo's adorable 11-year-old twins, Max and Emmy, who both serenaded their mom with a birthday rap and song. So basically the cutest birthday gift ever. Lopez shares them with ex-husband Mark Anthony, and both of A-Rod's kids, Natasha and Ella, were also in attendance. Big family affair. Now J-Lo is set to close out her tour that kicked off in June this week. Her final 3 performances are happening Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Miami at the American Airlines Arena. Early Wednesday, A-Rod shared a sweet birthday message for his love on Instagram. He wrote, "Hi, baby girl. Just want to wish you a happy birthday. I cannot believe this, baby girl. Since we've been together, you have made me feel like every day is my birthday. Thank you for your passion and your energy and your inspiration and your endless pursuit to be the best at everything that you do." That is so wonderful. A-Rod and J-Lo got engaged in March after 2 years of dating, but don't seem to be in any rush to tie the knot. They've got schedules full of work at the moment, with J-Lo wrapping up that tour and starring in the upcoming movie Hustlers alongside Constance Wu, Keke Palmer, and Julia Stiles. And happy birthday to her. All right, now watch this.
Day 1 of rehearsals for Coachella. Every woman's nightmare. This is my weight. 175. Long way to go.
That's Beyonce opening up in a recently released YouTube video about her weight loss and fitness journey ahead of Coachella 2018. The superstar was initially set to take the festival stage in 2017, but became pregnant with twins Rumi and Sir, had to wait a year. The clip shows the singer working out constantly while following a strict plant-based diet called 22 Days Nutrition. On top of that, we see her learning the choreography for her show and juggling being a mother. She reveals in the clip that it was no easy task physically or mentally, saying, quote, "In the beginning, it was so many muscle spasms. Just internally, my body was not connected. My mind was not there. My mind wanted to be with my children." Beyonce says that in order to meet her goals, she limited herself to no bread, no carbs, no sugar, no dairy, no meat, no fish, no alcohol. She even proclaimed, "I'm hungry." I mean, I can imagine. That's not eating anything at that point. Now, according to the personal video, Bea actually followed the 22-day nutrition plan for double the amount of time, 44 days total, to, quote, meet her goals for Coachella. Well, we hope you feel great, Queen Bea. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. We're catching up with the stars of Loose, Naomi Watts, and Octavia Spencer. Plus, Poppy Montgomery will be here live. She's giving us the scoop on her sexy summer show, Reef Break. Stick around.
All right, in honor of National Hot Fudge Sundae Day, we've been asking you to vote for your favorite Sunday topping in our People poll. It's the important things, Jeremy.
It is. All sprinkles, it's taking the lead.
No, I'm so upset about this. I'm not a sprinkles fan. I don't like the texture. I don't know.
Very narrow lead. There is time for your vote to actually make a difference,
vote
everybody.
matters, so get voting.
Let's get fruit out of the bottom spot. Now we move on to this. Watch.
What's it like when I'm at work and you're here alone with my husband?
He just works on his book all day. Promise.
You know, when I was a bad girl, my mother used to make me take a nice hot bath to get real clean.
All right, that's Steam, looking pretty ominous and sounding ominous too. That was a quick look at Heaven, which is part of Lifetime's book-to-screen series. So excited to be joined in LA by the amazing Julie Benz. Now she plays Kitty. Welcome, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. Now, Julie, we know you're a very avid reader. These films are based off of V.C. Andrews' books about the Steele family. When did you first read the series, and what were your thoughts?
Wow, I remember reading the books when I was in junior high school, and I technically wasn't allowed to read them, and so I took a cover off of another book and glued it on top so my parents wouldn't know I was reading Heaven.
Super sneaky, and we appreciate the kind of the innovation there to get it done. A lot happens in these books. How much changes in the films? How true are they to the story?
Well, the books, all the books are so large. There's a lot that happens within them. And so in order to condense them down into 2-hour movies, there is a lot of stuff that had to be taken out. But the true essence of the story and of the characters is still there, and it will resonate with the fans of the books.
Yeah, let's dive into your character a little. You play Kitty, who's described as being the deranged ex-lover. She's a trip. I'm watching this, she is a trip. So how much fun was it for you to play into that?
It's always fun when you play a character that's a bit deranged, and you get to be the crazy one on set. Because literally, it's like the gloves are off, you can do whatever you want, and it's everybody else's responsibility to react to it and make it seem real. So it was a lot of fun for me to just push the limit and push the envelope with her. She goes from like 0 to 60 in like less than a second. So it was exhausting. I would go home every day just completely exhausted with all the different emotional shifts that Kitty goes through. But it was a lot of fun.
I can imagine that being a lot of fun and to kind of explore the limitations of what you can do in that type of scenario. We saw a little bit of it earlier. You have a really intense scene with your co-star Annalise Basso where you're trying to drown her character in a bathtub, spoiler alert. What was filming that scene like? I mean, you didn't end up using stunt doubles, right? This was kind of the real deal. That looks brutal.
Yeah, you know, Annalise wanted to do it. She wanted me to really drown her, and I think because we shot that on the last day of filming, and so we had been working together for a while, and we had really great chemistry and a great trust between each other, so we just went for it. And No one got injured.
Okay, good. That was the next question.
But,
yeah.
yeah, no one got injured. We did it very safely, but I think it made it more real and intense, the two of us doing it together versus a stunt double doing it.
Yeah, and obviously you're an actress, so this comes with the territory. You know what you're doing. But tell me about going back and forth between having to be so mean to her when the cameras are rolling and then actually really getting along with her behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was, well, Annalise is such a lovely actress, and we had an immediate chemistry between the two of us, which made it very safe for me to be completely awful to her on camera. But then literally, as soon as they yelled cut, I'd just give her a big hug and just be like, I'm so sorry.
So sorry for almost drowning you.
Sorry for nearly slamming your head in the back of the tub there. So let's talk about...
I mean,
Sorry to interrupt you. Let's talk about this. 90210 actor Jason Priestley. He's involved with the series as well. He's in Gates of Paradise. You didn't get to meet him while filming because of how the timing kind of played out, and I understand this is the second time you've almost met him. What went wrong the first time around? What's the deal here?
I was such a huge 90210 fan growing up. I had a poster of Jason Priestley on my wall in my college dorm, and I was at the Monte Carlo Television Festival, and he was there too. And I saw him and I was like, oh, I'm going to go over and say hi and introduce myself because I'm such a huge fan. And literally within 30 seconds of talking to him, I just started melting into like a complete hot mess. It was so embarrassing. My husband was like, you know, you got to stop. Like, you got to stop.
He's like, you got to stop, and I'm right here, by the way.
Yeah, and then I had to walk away. And so I'm sad I didn't get to work with Jason, but I'm also kind of happy because I don't know if I could have.
Maybe it'll happen in the future. It happens to all of us, though. You've been in so many iconic roles over the years, but a lot of people still remember you from your days on Buffy and Angel as the vampire known as Darla. When you think back to that show, that time in your life, what's the main thing that sticks out to you?
Wow. We worked hard on that show. I mean, we were exhausted. I think that's the main thing I remember. We did a lot of night shoots. So when you work at night, it's tough. I just remember being completely exhausted, but also it was exhilarating work. They challenged me every week on the show. I mean, I had to sing, I was buried alive, I got to ride a horse through fire. I got to do so many cool things that I would never thought I would ever do as an actress. And I got to do it all in one show, so that was fun.
I'd say riding a horse through fire is like top of the list
yeah,
of things you wouldn't anticipate. Let's do this. Time for a little game we like to call Oh Snap. If we don't say it together, it doesn't work. We're going to take a look back at some of the old photos of you, kind of get your reaction about them, about the moment, and what was going on. You ready for this?
Starting with this picture.
Yes.
So what's your reaction when you see this picture?
Take a look there.
Oh, me and Taraji.
Yeah.
I think that was at a movie premiere, but Taraji and I, we did a TV movie together, God, it must be like 20 years ago, called Satan's School for Girls. And it starred Shannon Doherty and myself and Taraji and I just had the best time. We had the most fun.
Seems like
now she's a huge star.
Yeah, right? Seems like you guys would have a lot of fun together. All right, let's move on to this one. Take a look here. With Emma Caulfield, MTV's TRL UK to promote. You were promoting Buffy here, I believe.
Yes. Wow, that was a long time. Where did you find these?
Wait, look, you know what? We're digging around.
I'd like a copy. If I could get a copy, I would love a copy.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, we were in England doing a Buffy Angel convention. That's all I remember about it.
Yeah, but those conventions, it seems like that'd be a lot of fun connecting with the fans, right?
Oh, the fans, yeah.
It's so much fun to connect with the fans and to be a part of a show that has such a global fan base. And it's still, 20 years later, it still has a global fan base. Like the conventions are still going on 20 years later. And to have been a part of a show that still stands the test of time is such a cool experience.
When you look back at those pictures, especially the fashion, what do you think of some of the fashion choices, maybe the faux pas you wish you could take back? Anything?
I wish I could take it all back. Listen, about 12 years ago, I learned the importance of a stylist. Anything before that was all me, and I definitely do not have a natural sense of style.
I think you're being hard on yourself.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at this next picture. This is you and Michael Hall at the premiere of Dexter.
Yes, that was our premiere party for season 1. I remember we were so excited, but we were nervous that people weren't gonna enjoy the show because it was so dark and complicated. We weren't sure if the audiences were gonna enjoy it, but yeah, I forget what he was telling me there. We were obviously looking and talking about somebody.
Lots of tea being spilled right there. Spoiler alert here, if people don't know, your character on Dexter, Rita, had one of the most shocking deaths in TV history. You say you haven't watched it though, right?
Yes, I don't need to watch it. I experienced it live. It was, you know, it was hard for me. I loved being a part of that show, and you know, being killed off was like, you know, it was like being kicked out of a really cool family. So it was really dramatic for me and emotional for me. So yeah, I've never watched it.
So you didn't watch the death scene. Did you watch any of Dexter?
Oh yeah, I watched all the way up until I died.
Oh, and then you're like, no, I'm gonna turn this off.
Up until that moment, and then we gone.
All right, Julie.
And then I decided not to see it, yeah.
Okay.
Julie, thank you so much. And you guys, make sure you check out the VC Andrews Book to Screen series when it kicks off with the premiere of Heaven, Saturday, July 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Lifetime.
My home was vandalized.
I'm not gonna ruin some kid's life because you come in here with some hunches.
Is my son being accused of a crime here?
He sure as hell is about to be.
It's like I only get to be a saint or a monster.
Tell me the truth! Whew, you won't know who to believe, where your loyalty should lie, or what's gonna happen in the new dramatic thriller, Loose. It all centers around an outstanding high school student who's adopted by a loving American couple from a war-torn country.
But is the trauma of his past going to wreak havoc in his high school? Octavia Spencer and Naomi Watts talked to me about the twists, the turns of the movie, and I even got a little insight into what they were like as teenagers.
What were you like in high school? What did you get in trouble for? The biggest thing you got in trouble for?
You're assuming we got in trouble.
I'm presuming there was a moment. Everybody's got a moment, right? Do you remember the biggest, like...
I remember I got in trouble for whistling, you know, like one of those...
Oh, like a really loud...
loud whistle. Like
Are you really good at that?
Like, I can.
Okay.
I actually have gotten a job because of my whistle in a jeans commercial back in the day. It was before the teacher was there, and we were having whistling competitions, and anyway, and so the principal happened to be walking by and said, okay, whoever that last whistle, come with me. And everyone was sort of like, who's going to admit to this? And I'm like, okay, that'll be me.
And I love the idea of the casting call. It needs to look great in jeans and a killer whistle. And for whatever commercial that was.
I should have that on my resume.
What was yours? When were you in the principal's office, or were you?
I was never in the principal's office, but I did get chastised a lot because I was a very loquacious child and quite the loquacious woman.
It worked out for you in the end, right?
Well, the funny thing is I didn't know what loquacious meant.
I don't know if I know right now.
Until it was on my report.
I'm racking my mind to know what it means at this moment, but I think it means good things, powerful, strong, has a voice.
Very talkative.
Very talkative, has a voice.
Has a lot to say, which is good.
Yeah. Another piece of this that's from your character's perspective is the parenting dilemma, right? I mean, this is really challenging. So she's got her heart and soul right here in this kid. For you, what do you relate to the most about that?
How far you will go to protect your child. And not that I condone what she did for a second, that's a character, and I'm an actor and I'm looking for, you know, flawed and interesting women to play, complicated women, and she was certainly that. But I can identify with, you know, wanting to keep your child as safe as possible and almost to the bubble wrap point where you'll go to any lengths.
My little girl will not stop hitting kids at the playground. What's the biggest challenge you face these days with parenting?
Well, we're heading into the tween. We're in the tween world, and you know they just want to be older than they are, so they can sass a little bit. But yeah, we try to keep it calm and
Keep it at bay.
Yeah.
What was the most unnerving part of the story for you?
Well, the fact that it's a wonderful psychological thriller, and you have to as a viewer, become an active participant, because at some point you have to decide who you believe. And I thought that was unnerving because, you know, of the subject matter.
I love how it maintains this unknown. Wait, whose loyalty should I, or where should I put my loyalty, right?
Exactly, and it shifts, you know, just as you're about to back one of them, that judgment can suddenly change, and then you're on someone else, and what I loved about it is that you get to examine it, not just there in the movie theater, but you take it away with you, and you can try to connect with what story resonates with you, and how does that shift my own ideology.
You're getting a star on the Walk of Fame, I saw. Who would you love to have at that ceremony if you had the wish list?
Oh, just the people that have made my career what it is. My family, my friends, few producers, I mean, whomever. I'm grateful, honey.
Yeah. When I look at what the two of you are doing, you're incredibly busy, and you've got so many projects going on. It is the summer. When you have downtime, what do you do for fun in the summer to enjoy it a bit?
I forgot it was summer, honey.
Did you forget?
We're working here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm heading to Australia, but unfortunately it won't be for vacation. But it will be doing a project that I'm super connected to. So
Really quickly, Blood Moon. People are going crazy about it. What's your favorite part about being on that set?
enjoy your day.
And that's that. Thank you. Such a pleasure to talk to you about. Oh, of course, Naomi Watts has a role in the pilot of the Game of Thrones prequel. They're calling it Blood Moon. She's obviously being very tight-lipped about all that. Guys, be sure to check out Loose. It's in theaters August 2nd. Now watch this.
An explosion at Eastern Refinery.
Is there any suspicion of foul play?
Accident or arson?
Well, of course, I would never ask you to walk into a blazing inferno like that.
Of course not.
There's a second bombing based on that blinking red light. I'm in a really bad situation.
Is it an act of bioterror?
The green tide bombed the refinery.
Or something bigger?
They want me dead.
Ooh, in Reef Break, Poppy Montgomery plays Kat Chambers, a thief turned fixer who's impulsive, reckless, and so much fun to watch. Poppy joins us live with all the details on this sexy summer show. Welcome.
Good to see you.
Yes, this is so great. So this was actually your idea.
Yes.
So what about Kat Chambers? What about this overall concept really appealed to you?
I wanted to play a role. You know, I've played a lot of cops in my career, and actually I'm much more of a criminal.
Okay.
In my soul.
Okay.
So I was like, you know, let's start there. I want to be a criminal. I was expelled from 7 schools. I just want to play closer to myself. I like surfing. I love surfing. I'm not a very good surfer, so I made my character a much better surfer than I am. And you know, I wanted to do a show that was blue skies and sexy and fun and Magnum PI-ish and Baywatching and all of those
Well,
things.
you were expelled from 7 schools.
Yeah.
For what was the main?
I am still trying to figure it out. I thought I was an amazing student.
No clue.
Whoa.
I wouldn't have expelled me. I was interesting. I had an opinion.
It's weird to hear that you wouldn't have expelled you.
No way. I was like,
How important is it for you, though, to relate to the characters that you play? You know, like, I mean, this character is Kat based on someone you know. I guess it's yourself to some degree.
yeah, Kat's more me.
But that connection must really bring it to life for you.
It does. You know what? It makes going to work easy because I don't actually have to act.
Like, everyone else has to act
Yeah,
around
I'm
you,
like,
right?
all of you act, I'm just going to be me. But I also have to focus on, you know, I'm actively involved in the producing of the show and casting and scripts. And and I love action adventure. I love stunts. It's one of the things I love the most. I mean, the surfing parts, I don't do. I'm a really good paddler. I paddle a lot. My stunt double jumps in and does all that crazy big wave surfing, and she's amazing.
Wow, that's cool.
But there's this jet ski scene where I literally caught air. I was like, zoom. None of it's green screen. It's all real. And I watched it and I was like, I don't think the safety and liability people are going to be too
Right, because you're thinking as a producer as well,
yeah,
right?
I was like,
Even of
whoa, I
yourself.
shouldn't have gone that fast. But you just can't help yourself. You get out there on a jet ski and suddenly the whole world is like...
It seems like it was so much fun to shoot. It's on ABC. Now, ABC is known for these great female characters like Olivia Pope on Scandal, Annalise Keating, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
Now you have your character who she's fierce, she's strong, she's also very flawed. So how refreshing was it to play this character and not have to tone any of that down?
It was, I mean, it's great. It's great to go out there and be, especially in this era that we're in of women and strong female characters. You know, my character is like the male Magnum PI was in the 80s. She sleeps with whoever she wants to. She's basically sleeps with the whole island, but that's okay. She goes through men like, she's like, oh, I'll sleep with him today. And ABC does absolutely encourage and support women being like men are usually
portrayed.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And they're not being shamed for it or anything. It's great.
No.
It's like fun.
No,
You're
we have fun
celebrated.
with it. I'm like, woo!
Yeah. That's why I love your character especially. Now, this show's not necessarily kid-friendly, but you do have kids and they do watch it.
All of my kids watch it. I think it's kid-friendly. Some of the shows it's interesting because this show isn't violent. It's very sexy and fun, and it's kind of a wink. I call it like a sexy summer beach read of a TV show.
Yeah, that's a really perfect description.
It is, yeah. And it doesn't take itself too seriously. Without a Trace and Unforgettable, those shows covered some really dark kind of murders and crimes. This is like buried treasure and, modern day pirates.
Just a little sexy scene.
Yeah, I was like, listen, I'd rather you watch sex than violence. That's kind of my philosophy.
What do your kids make of you being this badass character and this role?
My 11-year-old is like, it really makes me uncomfortable to see you kissing other people. And my 6-year-old daughter's like, woo! I'm like, mommy. They all have a different opinion.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
What are you going to say to them when they get kicked out of school like you did?
Listen, I have told them, as long as you get a job and you're going to go do something interesting, because I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to be an actor no matter what. As long as they have a goal, I was like, hey, I'll support you, but you can't just get kicked out and play video games.
So you were purposely getting kicked out so you could be an actor.
Pretty much. I was like, I think I need to go to acting school.
Honestly, I feel like they really probably appreciate your honesty and being candid about all that kind of stuff.
They do, until it's embarrassing for them in front of their friends. They're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, it's cool, we can talk about it. I am very open and supportive of their individual personalities.
We mentioned Australia. We were even talking a little bit before that. Your accent, you've got a little one there. One of our control room guys, Nathan, is from Australia, and as soon as he knew you were coming in, he literally shouted over the PA, "Woo, Australia!" So people in Australians are very excited, very proud. You told our producer that you once lost a role because they thought your Australian accent was fake. How's that even possible?
I went on and I was like, I'm the only Australian I know in Los Angeles. It was an audition for a role to play an Australian girl, and I was like, duh, I'm a shoo-in. And I went in, and I walked out all, I got this. And they called my manager and said it was the worst Australian accent they'd ever heard.
What?
Too Australian to be Australian.
Yeah, worst Australian accent they'd ever heard. And I was like, that's just rude and wrong. I wanted to go back in and be like, you're not Australian, I am. I didn't even tell them I was Australian because I wanted them to think I was brilliant and doing a great accent. And I was like, they're wrong.
That is
That's really actually hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Have you noticed any phrases or words that mean something different in Australia than they do here? I always feel like it's so interesting with that dynamic.
Well, here a fanny is your butt. But in Australia, it is not. It is not your butt. It is the front on a woman.
Oh.
So
wait, I've actually never heard that. I thought you were going to have it in
When I first arrived in America, and someone was like, "And I'm just going to smack you on the fanny," I was like, "I'll kill you. You touch my fanny, you're dead." And when I went back to Australia, I was hiking, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to bring a fanny pack," and everyone was like,
"Oh,
excuse me."
And I said, no, I mean a bum bag. It's got a whole different, so yeah.
That might be one of the most severe shifts, right?
Oh yeah, a fanny
Talk about missing the miscommunication.
Yep.
All right, well, let's play a game. Kat Chambers works and lives predominantly on the water, at the beach, so we thought we would play Fish and Dish. You hook in the fish, we ask you a question based on the color you reel in.
You said you love games, so if you reel in a purple fish, you have to answer a career question. Red fish means love life, yellow fish are miscellaneous, orange fish are party questions, green, you can ask us a question.
Oh, I can ask you with green.
Yeah,
okay, so wait, now.
It's going to be the most disappointing thing that's ever happened. Uh-oh. Oh, got to hold it. And yellow.
All right. If you weren't an actress, you'd be a blank.
Criminal.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Do I put him back
I'll
in?
just
No.
take, take that. It's
Bye,
fine. Don't worry about
fish. See ya.
that. Here we go.
Okay, I get to ask you a question with green, right? None of them are No.
We're currently campaigning to get rid of the green ones. Just generally, Andrea and I are.
Oh my goodness, I'm terrible.
Are you nervous? We making you?
I just want to get one.
Poppy Montgomery.
Why can't I catch a fish?
Pro fisher.
I'm terrible.
You said you have this game too.
I know, my son hit all the fishing ones.
I think the key is to dedicate to one and then follow it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I'm getting better.
Oh yeah, that's the way. That's the way to go.
Oh, yep. Okay.
And
he will not close his mouth. Come on.
Wait.
Rip it out.
Oh yeah, purple. Here we go.
Okay, worst career advice that you've ever gotten.
stay in school. No. Worst
That's a theme
career
here.
advice I've ever gotten was to not be an actor. Don't be an actor. It's the worst. You'll never succeed in that industry. It's too competitive.
You hear that so many times, right?
Yeah,
the chances
and
are against you, but you broke through. Here we
I
go.
broke
There's time
through.
for more, Poppy.
All right, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yellow. Can I do this one? Yellow. Got it. All right. If you weren't an actress, oh, we already did that. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
New York.
Have you ever lived in New York?
I did when I did Unforgettable, but I really miss it.
For how long were you here?
5 years.
What's your favorite thing about New York?
I love the diversity and the cultural diversity. Like you can go to a museum, you can go to Broadway, you can go to Central Park. There's so much to do. My kids love it too.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be a multi-trillionaire to live in Manhattan, but outside of that, I would be here.
Or just struggle to make ends meet like me. Here we go. One more.
One more.
I think there's time for one more.
I got him.
Go red.
We'll give it to you.
Oh, yeah, she got the red.
I'm a cheater.
You got this?
All right,
Cheater.
love life. Most romantic date you've ever been on?
Oh, my husband has done some really good ones. When he had, on our anniversary, he's watching, he's gonna love this. On our anniversary, he set up a dinner with a private chef and all our kids were waiters.
Oh, that's really
pretty
cute.
cute.
That is pretty cute.
They did spill all the food down my front, but that's beside the point. He got them all to serve us food, and they set it all, and they were all the little way. It was really cute.
Oh, that is great. Good idea.
Adorable.
I'm actually taking
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Poppy, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you,
being
guys.
Here. You guys catch a Reef Break Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on ABC.
All right, we're taking one last look at our People poll. We've been asking you what hot fudge sundae topping is your favorite because
I'm
we
hoping
must
that
know.
it tipped away from sprinkles. No!
Nope. Poppy, what do you think? Sprinkles, nuts, Oreos, or fruit?
Oreos for sure.
Ooh, Oreos are good. That's a good
Oreos.
call.
I say anything but sprinkles.
Honestly, I go the fruit and like crushed nuts. That's the way to go. Good
yeah.
Come on, guys, try some
All right.
strawberries.
Fruit?
Yeah, strawberries
fruit.
or raspberries
What?
on ice cream? Are you kidding?
Caramel,
Pineapple?
Oreos,
That's great too. Yeah.
chocolate. You're a healthy ice
That's
cream.
not. I just like the fruit.
You're like, I love some pineapple with my.
All right, Poppy, thank you for being
We'll
here.
be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now, so tune in for that.
See you again, never. Coming up tomorrow, we're recapping all the most OMG moments from this week's dramatic Real Housewives reunions.
Plus, we're catching up with the cast of Pennyworth, a new drama series based on DC Comics character Alfred Pennyworth, aka Batman's butler. All right, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Lea Thompson.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Lea Thompson, and this is One Last Thing. The last thing I texted to my daughter was, to be honest, you look beautiful in a bikini, don't worry. The last show I binge watched was A Handmaid's Tale. I love that show.
Not for helping people escape. Because officially, there's no such thing as escape.
The last thing I Googled was an old picture of me from Back to the Future 2, because everyone's doing these, age app thing, and I didn't want to do it. So I just went to the archive and got a picture of me at 80 from Back to the Future 2.